So I genuinely am not following any plan or anything like that. I'm waiting to fix it. This is what I will be wearing. Then we will do a body shot in hopes to see.
Hello and welcome back to Aren't You Exhausted? The only show where we sift through the pudding cups and pasta piles of some of the internet's most committed yo-yo dieters, so you don't have to. I'm your host, Ashley, the big-backed bitch with a sharper tongue than Amber's Parmesan cheese. And before we dive into today's culinary confusion, a shout out to my members, Emmy, Kalari C, Tiffany Joy, Big Titty Pretty Bitch, and Secret Squirrel. Y'all keep the lights on while Amber tries to keep the stove off. So Amber starts us off by not starting her day.
So I'm just showing you guys what I ate today, and literally I don't eat breakfast. I'm sure you guys have noticed that. I eventually do want to get in the habit of doing so. I've been awake for about 4.5 hours and I'm finally about to eat my first meal.
I mean, eventually, after the goal weight, right? Maybe? I've met more committed intentions in a group project. She's been up 4.5 hours and just now opening up her mouth for something other than YouTube word salad. And what do you know? A poke bowl. She's excited for her poke bowl. She's excited for her first meal of the day, well into the afternoon. But what caught me was...
So I was on soft foods for a good 14 days.
Amber, blink twice if your bariatric ghost of diets past is haunting you. Did a dentist ground you? Did Jenny Craig issue a cease and desist? Because what soft food era are we talking about? And why does it sound like something from the Hunger Games district? Also,
Wasabi peas, which is my favorite part.
Girl, you are lying. You don't crave peas. You just want something on the plate that screams, I swear this is healthy. Next up, we meet the meal, capital T, capital M. The ingredients are diabolical. Canned chicken, butter, Parmesan, garlic salt, mayo, tapatio, because nothing about this screams comfort food. It's screaming, I need to use everything out of the back of my refrigerator and my pantry. And then she admits,
I ended up eating the whole pot of pasta that I made.
not a bowl, not a serving, the pot. Folks, if that's not symbolic of this entire journey, then I don't know what is. And listen, I'd respect it if it weren't followed up by this.
I'm still in a calorie deficiency.
Amber, you inhaled an entire pot of pasta the size of a mid-sized Olive Garden, and you're calling this a deficit? I'm sorry, a deficiency, because she doesn't know the difference between deficiency and deficit quite yet. Toddler Lynn hasn't learned this vocab word in its entirety. This is just something she saw in passing or maybe heard and thought that this was the word to use in this particular incident. She is not calorie deficient. No. She thinks that she'd be in a calorie deficit, but not deficient. She is not calorie deficient. That's not how we got over 500 pounds. No. You might need to go back and recalibrate your math if that's the conclusion that we've come to. Just throwing that out there.
I think I would be sick of these by now because during my soft food era, this is what I was eating. I was having puddings. But I'm telling you, chocolate vanilla puddings, I think I'm going to have two actually.
Amber, we've been asking ourselves the same question about your content for years, but we're here watching you eat 2 pudding cups with the same reverence that someone would enjoy a glass of fine wine.
I've had over 40 ounces of water. I'm having a hard time getting past the 40 ounces. Sometimes I reach 60 ounces, but my ultimate goal is 80.
That's like one reusable water bottle. You're telling me that a woman who can finish an entire pot of mayo and butter slathered pasta is tapping out at a hydro flask? Please. And then here's where it gets a little rich.
What is your weight loss goal this year? 499.8.
Amber has set her goal weight for 2025. Amber's out here manifesting decimals. Yeah. Not health, not strategy, a very specific number. Because apparently seeing a 4 on the scale is the reward. You know, not the lifestyle, not the habits, just the 4. And in case you're wondering how she's planning on getting there,
what are you doing to lose weight right now? So I genuinely am not following any plan or anything like that. I am just trying to eat less than I would on a day where I am completely off track.
this is like driving across the country with no map, no gas, and a car made completely of pudding cups. It's delusional. And then she gets to the weigh-in, the big event.
Okay, so we're gonna do a weigh-in. This feels crooked. Let me fix it. That's a little better. So this is gonna be my weigh-in outfit. I'm gonna weigh in every single week wearing the same thing. So I normally weigh myself naked.
This woman is staging a whole pre-weigh-in wardrobe production while casually admitting she's fixated on stripping down for accuracy. Amber, you're not an MMA fighter cutting weight before a title bout. Just step on the goddamn scale.
All right, so let's do it here.
Hello, it's ready.
Yes, it is.
534.6 pounds.
So she's down from 546. That's 11.4 pounds since May. That would be a win if it weren't delivered with the emotional energy of someone reading a bank statement. And then she claims,
Because my face isn't as puffy, my breathing is better, my stamina is a little bit better.
let's check the archives. Because baby, that face swelling timeline, it's been inconsistent at best. But sure, less puffy, more pasta. We love a theme. So my final thoughts are Amber's food vlogs are less about weight loss and more about documenting a complex relationship with control and indulgence and denial. She's completely convinced that the calorie fairy is balancing her books and intentions, and those are mattering more than the outcomes. Meanwhile, the audience is out here getting pasta and pudding cups while waiting for a real plan to materialize. But hey, at least she's not drinking soda. And that's it for today's weigh-in roulette and mayo-based cuisine critique. I've been Ashley, your snark certified pasta skeptical host of Aren't You Exhausted? And remember, it's not about what the scale says, unless you're Amberlynn, in which case it's always about what the scale says, but only when it's something she likes. Till next time, stay hydrated, preferably over 40 ounces. Cook with less trauma, and for the love of God, stop putting mayo in pasta unless it is pasta salad.